Listen closely, because what you are about to discover could be the single most pivotal revelation of your lifetime. In late April 2025, an extraordinary cosmic alignment, one that certain authorities have tried to downplay or dismiss entirely, will unleash a tidal wave of energetic ripples across our planet. This is not gossip or conspiracy theory. This is a celestial event so potent that it has left even seasoned astronomers at an observatory in Greece utterly baffled by the gravitational anomalies they're recording. The Jupiter-Pluto conjunction is not just another astrological curiosity. It's a galvanizing force for deep karmic cleansing, a universal summons for souls to confront the echoing remnants of their past, remnants that continue to manifest as repetitive life patterns, hidden guilt, or that inexplicable longing you sometimes feel when you look at the night sky. If you thought you were here by accident, think again. The timing of this event is precise, almost surgically orchestrated by forces that transcend our day-to-day reality. This is privileged knowledge, the kind of information that just might make you question everything you thought you knew about your reality. Are you prepared to see what most people will never even imagine exists? You might wonder who stands behind this urgent broadcast. Meet first, last, an ancient texts translator and energy sensitive who has spent years poring over long-forgotten Babylonian star calendars, tracking planetary cycles, and decoding cryptic references to cosmic realignments. Known for heightened empathic abilities that border on the supernatural, First, Last has spent the last decade warning people about the correlation between astronomical synchronicities and profound personal transformations. It was First Last who, at just 21 years of age, translated a critical passage indicating that when Jupiter and Pluto align under certain star patterns, particularly in late April, humanity undergoes what ancient scribes called the Great Reckoning of the Soul. These texts, combined with First Last's own empathic sensing, have revealed a cycle that triggers old memories, buried guilt, and the unmistakable call to purge what no longer serves us. While we've seen many energetic shifts throughout history, some at the hands of solar eclipses, lunar alignments, or intense gamma-ray bursts, none of these compare to what is coming at the end of this month. Current orbital data confirm an exact overlap of Jupiter and Pluto in a sector of the sky once revered by Babylonian priesthoods as the gateway of forgotten shadows. According to new calculations from a respected Greek observatory, a peculiar gravitational field anomaly is already forming, one that could subtly alter brainwave patterns worldwide. Our planet, at a vibrational level, seems to be tuning itself to a higher frequency in preparation for a karmic detox that is both cataclysmic and sublime. If this sounds like fringe science, consider that quantum physicists have begun noting the measurable effects of planetary magnetism on human consciousness. When you add in the spiritual perspective, vibrations, higher dimensions, cosmic cycles, it becomes clear why this time is unlike any other. We're straddling an epoch in which science and mysticism converge into a luminous tapestry of potential. In this explosive presentation, you will learn exactly what the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction is, why it has the power to dredge up even the deepest karmic sediments of your past, and how to navigate the ensuing turmoil for your highest good. You'll discover the 4-phase Karmic Purge technique, a closely guarded method used by ancient priesthoods for centuries to release past life entanglements. You'll see how ancient Maya, Egyptian, Sumerian, and Vedic prophecies converge eerily on this point in time. Most crucially, you'll walk away with a detailed action plan, a step-by-step guide to help you harness these energies instead of being blindsided by them. But be warned, the window for preparation is narrow, and we're racing against a cosmic clock that offers zero leniency. Miss the signs, and you may find yourself caught in a vortex of old patterns, unable to break free. If you've ever felt that fleeting sense of déjà vu, that mysterious chill when chanting a prayer, or that urgent need to reevaluate your life choices, you must watch this entire video. This knowledge is your shield, your roadmap, and your catalyst for profound spiritual freedom. Now, let's dive into the nuts and bolts of what's happening in the cosmos and why this celestial overlap has triggered so much excitement and, yes, fear among those who understand its magnitude. At the core of this phenomenon is the synergy between scientific reality and mystical insight. In the realm of quantum physics, we now understand that everything in existence oscillates at specific vibrational frequencies. Even human thought registers as electromagnetic waves, which can be measured in hertz. When you combine this knowledge with spiritual insights, ideas about chakra systems, the astral plane, or higher dimensional gateways, it becomes impossible to ignore the synergy unfolding here. Jupiter is a massive planet radiating its own electromagnetic field, while Pluto, though diminutive by comparison, exerts an intense gravitational and energetic pull due to its eccentric orbit and potent symbolic significance in astrology. Together, these celestial bodies create what I call the celestial overlap, a unique energetic signature that resonates with the primal frequencies within our collective unconscious. One might liken it to 2 violin strings placed side by side in the same room. When one string vibrates, the other begins to vibrate too, a phenomenon known as sympathetic resonance. In the same way, Earth's magnetosphere, our planet's protective magnetic cocoon, picks up the subtle but real frequencies produced by Jupiter and Pluto's alignment. Recent research from the European Space Agency has shown that the magnetosphere is more sensitive than once believed, registering even slight cosmic fluctuations as changes in Earth's Schumann resonance. Meanwhile, from a spiritual vantage point, these resonances nudge our energy bodies, our chakras, meridians, and auric fields into heightened states of awareness. Imagine your subtle energy field like a tapestry woven with threads of past experiences, karmic imprints, ancestral codes, and hopes for the future. The celestial overlap effectively tugs on these threads, forcing them to vibrate in harmony with universal energies. The result? A quantum resurgence of memories, revelations, and emotional surges that can be as destabilizing as they are enlightening. Of course, none of this is without precedent. Ancient Maya calendars meticulously tracked planetary cycles, especially those involving Jupiter, because they believed each alignment opened a portal to higher dimensions. Egyptian high priests referenced similar alignments in conjunction with Sirius rising, signifying rebirth and the cyclical nature of existence.
The Sumerians and the Vedic traditions likewise pointed to these critical junctures, noting how society either underwent collective upheaval or found remarkable spiritual breakthroughs. Across all these civilizations, a single motif recurs. When Jupiter and Pluto meet in certain sectors of the sky, humanity stands at a crossroads where old karmic baggage can be shed.
We see references to floods, plagues, or revelations not as punishments from the gods, but as cosmic triggers designed to push humanity toward evolution. It's no coincidence that so many traditions align on this point. It's what I like to call the great cross-cultural convergence, where separate mythologies and prophecies braid themselves into one overarching narrative. So let's look more closely at the upcoming event. Our current date projections tell us the peak alignment will occur during the final days of April, specifically between April 27th and 29th, with the strongest gravitational interference predicted around midnight of April 28th. At that juncture, Jupiter and Pluto will form an almost exact conjunction in the constellation that ancient Babylonian texts refer to as the Portal of Matim, a term indicating unraveling old cords. The data from the Greek observatory indicates an unusual gravitational flux that defies the established models used to calculate planetary interactions. Some researchers suspect that dark matter or quantum entanglement might be influencing the readings. Others, drawn from the spiritual community, assert this is physical proof of what seers and mystics have claimed for centuries. We're stepping into a cosmic corridor that can accelerate human transformation. To make this clearer, consider the story of a woman named Cora, her real name withheld for privacy. According to First Last's records, Cora began experiencing vivid nightmares of ancient battles and floods about 6 weeks prior to the last Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. She developed goosebumps anytime she heard liturgical hymns, even though she wasn't religious, and felt a driving need to quit her corporate job and take up painting, something she'd never done before. She described sudden urges to atone for behaviors she herself didn't fully understand, almost as if she carried someone else's guilt. Yet once the planetary alignment passed, Cora emerged with a renewed sense of freedom. She changed her career, mended a fractured relationship with her estranged mother, and reported that her migraines, which had plagued her for years, simply vanished. It was as though she had accessed a hidden karmic account and chosen to wipe its slate clean. This is the sort of profound metamorphosis that can occur during these alignments. So how do you know if you are being touched by these energies? The signs and symptoms are as diverse as they are unmistakable. On a physical level, many report fatigue beyond anything they've experienced, coupled with sudden surges of adrenaline. It's similar to having an electrical current coursing through your veins. You might have trouble sleeping, either plagued by insomnia or experiencing lucid dreams so vivid you wake up sweating. Others speak of body aches that seem to move from one muscle group to another, defying logical explanation. Why does your lower back hurt one day and then your neck the next, only for the pain to vanish without warning? Think of it as your body recalibrating, flushing out energetic toxins that have built up over years or even lifetimes. You're not getting sick. You're getting an upgrade. Indeed, if you find yourself unnerved by these symptoms, rest assured that they're not a sign of failure or regression. Rather, they're your body's way of responding to the cosmic infusion of prana, or life force, that saturates the planet at this time. Emotional and psychological changes are equally profound, if not more so. You might experience flashbacks, oddly detailed recollections that you can't place in your current life timeline. Are they past life memories? Or are they fragments of your subconscious unearthing something you've repressed? Guilt or regret that seemed minor or even irrelevant can surface with surprising intensity, leaving you feeling unsettled or tearful. Yet this emotional stirring serves a purpose. It's coaxing the shadows of unhealed trauma into the light of conscious awareness. In other words, that pit in your stomach could very well be the catalyst for the greatest emotional breakthrough of your life. Do you ever feel a bittersweet longing for an unknown place whenever you gaze at the stars? That's part of the magnetic dreaming phenomenon, a gentle cosmic nudge that reminds your soul it's much older than you think. And here's the kicker. This longing isn't meant to paralyze you. It's meant to drive you forward, to push you to explore new spiritual frontiers. On the spiritual or intuitive front, many individuals report heightened sixth sense experiences. Perhaps you suddenly know who's calling before you pick up the phone, or you feel waves of energy emanating from others, sometimes pleasant, sometimes jarringly negative. You may sense the presence of spirits, guardians, or benevolent beings hovering around you. There can be an increase in synchronicities, like seeing 11:11 on your clock every day, or encountering the same symbol or phrase repeatedly in the span of hours. These patterns are more than coincidences. They're cosmic breadcrumbs leading you to a deeper understanding of your path. For some, even the simplest spiritual practice, like lighting a candle or chanting a mantra, now tingles with electricity, as if the veil between dimensions has thinned. Likewise, your relationships may undergo a seismic shift. You may find yourself repelled by people whose energy feels draining, or you might unexpectedly reconcile with someone from whom you'd grown apart. The Jupiter Pluto synergy doesn't differentiate between friend or foe. It simply magnetizes the individuals whose energies resonate with your true purpose and repels those that don't. This can be disconcerting, even painful, if it means drifting away from longtime companions. But remember, spiritual laws always prioritize growth, authenticity, and mutual soul evolution. At the same time, you may be pulled toward entirely new communities, new romantic relationships, or even new geographical locations that seem to call out to you. It might feel irrational, but it's part of the cosmic puzzle aligning itself. Given the magnitude of these changes, you may wonder, how can you prepare? What practical steps can you take to ensure you're riding this cosmic wave rather than drowning in it? First, pay attention to your body. Over the next few weeks, consider integrating high-vibration foods into your diet. Fruits, vegetables, herbal infusions, known for their cleansing properties, and plenty of water charged with your positive intentions. Limit substances that cloud the mind or weigh you down. such as excessive sugar, alcohol, or processed foods. Physical movement is crucial, be it yoga, tai chi, dance, or simply walking barefoot on grass to ground yourself in Earth's energy. Your body, quite literally, is an antenna receiving cosmic signals. By maintaining a clean, energized body, you improve your signal reception, making you more attuned to the beneficial frequencies pouring in. Simultaneously, mental and emotional preparation is key. Meditation is a potent tool here, not just any meditation, but specific forms of breathwork that help release pent-up energy. Consider practicing a simple 4-count inhale. Hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4 again, repeating this cycle several times. As you breathe, visualize any dense emotions, fear, anger, regret, melting away. Try journaling to capture your insights, your dreams, and any flashes of intuitive inspiration. Some find that daily affirmations like, "I release what no longer serves me," and "welcome new beginnings," repeated out loud, help anchor the intention to cleanse. This is no small matter. Such simple practices can serve as guardrails, preventing you from being overwhelmed by the torrent of new energies. Creating a sacred space at home can also provide a sanctuary of stability in the midst of cosmic upheaval. You don't need a large room or elaborate setup. A corner table adorned with candles, crystals that resonate with purification, like selenite or clear quartz, and a symbol that speaks to your soul, a lotus, a phoenix, a simple white feather, can suffice. You can diffuse essential oils such as frankincense or lavender to elevate the vibration of the space. Think of this small altar as a personal temple, a microcosm of the broader cosmic transformation. Spend time in this space daily, if only for a few minutes, to center yourself, set your intentions, and reaffirm your readiness to release old karmic ties. Now let's examine the 4-phase Karmic Purge technique that first, last, uncovered while translating a Babylonian star calendar. This technique, rumored to have been passed down by ancient priesthoods, provides a structured path for releasing deep-seated karmic entanglements. Phase 1, recognition, is about identifying patterns that recur in your life, whether they manifest as toxic relationship cycles, financial struggles, or persistent feelings of unworthiness. Phase 2, acknowledgement, asks that you confront the emotional underpinnings of those patterns, whether shame, anger, or sorrow. Phase 3, transmutation, uses visualization and ritual to consciously transform the energy of those patterns into a higher form. This might involve chanting, working with specific crystals, or imagining the pattern dissolving into white light. The final phase, integration, ensures that the lessons gleaned from your past are woven into your present reality, preventing the same karmic loop from happening again. If you'd like a suggested timeline, consider the days leading up to April 27th as your reconnaissance stage, where you record and reflect on your recurring issues. As the alignment intensifies from April 28th through April 29th, move to the deeper emotional work, perhaps spending an hour each day in focused meditation or journaling. On the peak night itself, around April 28th, schedule a ceremonial moment, lighting a candle or even stepping outside under the stars to enact your personal purge. Then, In the days following, remain attentive to dreams and synchronicities, as they will often confirm that your intentions have taken root. None of this is set in stone, of course. The technique is flexible, allowing for personal adaptation and spiritual creativity. Because this is such a critical moment in our collective journey, I'd like to pause briefly and address some questions that people often ask when they first learn about this event. Consider this a short questions and answers interlude to dispel any misconceptions. Q. Could these physical symptoms be just in my head? A. While psychosomatic responses exist, thousands of people worldwide are reporting similar experiences, and they coincide remarkably with changes in planetary positions. When so many individuals share parallel stories, it suggests a genuine cosmic influence rather than mere imagination. Q. What if I don't believe in astrology or karmic theory? A. Skepticism is healthy. You don't have to accept the spiritual side to acknowledge that gravitational fields and electromagnetic frequencies can affect living organisms. Remember, even medical science recognizes the moon's influence on tides, which in turn can affect human physiology. Q. Is there a chance these energies are dangerous? A. Transformational energy can feel intense, but it's more of an invitation than a threat. The real danger is ignoring it, which can lead to delayed or repeated life lessons. Facing the purge head-on usually yields growth and relief. Q. What if my current life is going well and I don't want to dig up old trauma? A. This is less about seeking negativity and more about clearing unconscious blocks you might not realize still affect you. Growth doesn't always come from addressing crises. Sometimes it comes from refining and elevating an already good life. Q. How do I know I'm doing the karmic purge right? A. Intention is the key. There's no single right way to release old energy. If your desire to heal is authentic, you're already on the path. With these questions addressed, let's move on to a special revelation that, first, last insists few are aware of, but that everyone should hear. According to one fragmented Babylonian text found near the ancient city of Kish, the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction functions as a cosmic lock and key mechanism. The text suggests that when Jupiter, often called the celestial king, aligns with Pluto, the underworld gatekeeper, the universal vault of hidden memories briefly unlocks. This unlocking can enable unprecedented leaps in spiritual awareness, but it can also unleash what the text calls temporal echoes, faint residual energies from past civilizations that get imprinted on our collective psyche. During this short cosmic window, people may suddenly remember fragments of ancient languages, experience flashbacks to historical eras, or discover an inexplicable affinity for artifacts or cultural symbols from the far past. The gist? This is not just about personal growth. It's about humanity re-encountering its own forgotten heritage. To cross-check this revelation, last, reached out to an epigraphist from a European university who had researched similar phenomena in Egyptian hieroglyphs. In an email conversation, the scholar revealed that certain hieroglyphic inscriptions also mention a window of rebirth when the eye of Amun kisses the eye of Duat, a phrase that could easily mirror the Jupiter-Pluto alignment. Although it's challenging to prove these connections definitively, the parallels are far too striking to dismiss. as coincidence. At this point, let's shift into practicalities. How can you schedule and structure your days around the alignment? One approach is to create an action plan that encompasses the days before, during, and after the event. In the week prior, focus on cleansing, both physically and mentally. Make a list of the top 3 negative habits or emotional states you'd like to release. Engage in mild detoxification practices, such as drinking fresh juices or herbal teas. As the alignment nears, consider intensifying your meditative practices. If possible, schedule a day off or some downtime around April 28th to give yourself space for reflection, journaling, or even a dedicated ritual. On the night of the peak, some choose to hold a group ceremony. If you have like-minded friends, you could gather in a circle, chant, or recite affirmations, collectively magnifying the effect. Alternatively, a solitary vigil under the stars can be just as potent. The key is intention and openness to receiving cosmic guidance. In the days following the alignment, integrate your experiences by noticing signs in your dreams and environment. Are you being nudged to pursue a new career path? Do certain books keep popping up in your awareness? Integration is about staying alert to these signals and acting on them. It's also valuable to create your own sacred container for the transformation. Let's do a brief guided meditation to illustrate how simple and powerful this can be. If you can, take a moment now to close your eyes, unless you're driving or performing a task that requires attention. Imagine standing in a column of shimmering golden light. With each inhalation, see the light expand, enveloping not just your body, but your entire aura. Feel it washing away any heaviness, any regret, any guilt. Visualize these dense energies dissolving into the brightness like ink disappearing in water. Now, place your hands on your heart and mentally repeat, I open myself to this cosmic upgrade. I release the burdens of my past. I welcome the frequencies of renewal. Hold this vision for a few breaths, then gently return to your surroundings. Even a short practice like this, repeated daily, can have a profound effect on your karmic clearing process. Before we reach our concluding thoughts, I'd like to add a brief interview segment. Imagine first, last, sitting with a former skeptic, Dr. Marianne Cole, a neuroscientist who spent years dismissing astrology as mere superstition, until she personally experienced the 2010 Jupiter Pluto conjunction. Here's a truncated version of their exchange. First, last. Dr. Cole, what changed your viewpoint on cosmic alignments? Dr. Cole, I was forced to reconsider everything when, during that 2010 conjunction, I underwent inexplicable migraines and vivid dream sequences. My brain scans showed unusual high-frequency gamma bursts right before these dreams occurred, something I'd never seen in my research. It led me to hypothesize that planetary electromagnetic fluctuations might be nudging the neural oscillations in our brains. First, last, would you say there's a scientific explanation for this phenomenon? Dr. Cole, I believe so. There's preliminary evidence that cosmic radiation and magnetic shifts can affect human physiology, especially our nervous system. While we don't fully understand the mechanism, it's not unreasonable to think that these cosmic energies can catalyze profound psychological and spiritual experiences. First, last. For the skeptics out there, any closing words? Dr. Cole, remain open-minded. Science is constantly evolving. Many phenomena we dismiss today may become tomorrow's breakthroughs. Their dialogue underscores that you needn't choose between science and spirituality. The two can coexist, lending credence to each other. When a neuroscientist corroborates that cosmic alignments can spark measurable shifts in brainwaves, it becomes that much harder to dismiss the phenomenon as mere fantasy. Now that we have delved into preparation, personal experiences, expert insights, and even a special revelation from ancient texts, it's time to bring this all together. Remember that the fundamental aim here is to illuminate, not to frighten. Yes, there is an urgency. The cosmic window for release and renewal is finite. And if you ignore the signals, you risk carrying your old baggage into yet another cycle of lessons. But hope is woven into the very fabric of this event. As you align yourself with the energies of Jupiter and Pluto, you tap into a reservoir of universal power, one capable of transforming fear into love, doubt into certainty, and pain into wisdom. So let's recap the core takeaways you should remember long after this video ends. First, the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction in late April 2025 is a verifiable astronomical alignment that has historically corresponded with monumental shifts in human consciousness. Second, the cosmic synergy behind it. A gravitational anomaly recorded by Greek observatories acts like a magnifier for old karmic patterns, accelerating their resolution. Third, you are not a bystander. You can consciously engage with this energy through practical steps, purifying your diet, implementing meditation and breathwork routines, creating sacred spaces, and working with the 4-phase Karmic Purge technique. Fourth, as odd or unsettling as some signs may be, flashbacks, goosebumps, sudden emotional surges, they are ultimately signposts guiding you toward healing and wholeness. Looking ahead, imagine a future where millions of awakened souls stand at the forefront of a cultural revolution, forging pathways in science, art, technology, and human connection that we can scarcely imagine today. This is not a fanciful dream. It's a tangible outcome of mass realignment with higher purpose. Think of a new Earth or a 5D reality in which collaboration and empathy become the norm, where solutions to our global challenges emerge almost organically from a collective rise in consciousness. This alignment is like a key turning in humanity's ignition, offering a glimpse of how integrated and radiant our world could become if we individually do our parts. You are invited, no, you are called to join this wave of transformation. Don't simply watch from the sidelines. Step onto the cosmic stage and play your role in elevating both yourself and the collective. Subscribe or follow Last's ongoing updates if you want deeper guidance, because this event is just the beginning of a series of energetic shifts that will continue to unfold over the next few years. Connect with communities, online or in person, that are focused on healing, frequency work, or ancient wisdom. Share your experiences, your dreams, your breakthroughs, your epiphanies, so that others recognize they are not alone. You can help co-create a supportive network that stands resilient amid uncertainty. As you consider what to do next, I leave you with a final question. What if this Jupiter-Pluto alignment is the cosmic alarm clock you've secretly been waiting for? The sign that it's time to break free from all that keeps you small. Reflect on that. Let its potential stir something inside you, a quiet certainty that you are on the precipice of something vast and beautiful. Because, in truth, you are. You've always been. The only difference now is that the cosmos is conspiring to help you see it. And that, dear viewer, is your call to action. Embrace the cosmic energies with intention. Commit to clearing the karmic debris you've carried for far too long, and step confidently into the radiant future that awaits. This is not merely an astrological event. It's an invitation to dance with the universe. Accept it and see how your life transforms. Resist it and watch as the same life lessons boomerang back until you're ready. The choice is yours, and the time is now. May you harness this extraordinary alignment for your highest good and the good of all who share this earth. Remember, you are more powerful, more timeless, and more divinely orchestrated than you could ever imagine. Will you answer the call?